Jared, you're so handsome. Look at that smile. Michael, my God, I could stare at your face all day. Jacqui, fucking queen. I'm sorry, queen. You look up queen in the dictionary, and then there's my face, but then Jackie's underneath it.
Thanks.
Kyrus, God damn it, I can't. Your booty is on fire, and I can't.
And this earring, I love this earring, Kyrus.
I know, I noticed that too.
Only Scene Kid, 1999. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, very 90s.
I know. I'm part of the cool hip kids now.
Let's
man. What TikTok does to you.
You're giving me Ice vibes from like God, what's it called? Hocus Pocus. This is Ice with the wire.
Oh yeah. Right, yes. Here we go. Hey, it's your boy Kai coming fresh out of Philly. Welcome to the Kyrus Friends podcast, weekly Nerd Squad edition, where I sit down with the Nerd Squad to react to the latest nerd news of the week and Falcon Winter Soldier. If you like our comic book news panel, be sure to follow me on The Vibe with Kai on your favorite social media platforms. You can visit my official website at thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. This week on our panel, we'll be reacting to episode 6, the season finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Please be aware that today's panel will definitely contain spoilers for the season finale. So if you haven't seen it, what have you been doing the past 6 weeks? Go watch it. Well, you should know this by now.
Why are you watching this if you haven't seen it?
Like go somewhere.
Your money.
Go somewhere. With that said, welcome once again to the Kyrus Friends podcast, weekly Nerd Squad edition. Joining us today are the MCU nerds for, I guess this is our season finale before we come back for season 2, another round of nerding out. First and foremost, our queen, Jacqui Beltran. Hi. How are you?
It's good to see everybody this Saturday morning. I'm tired, but it's okay. I will take a break from my coma for all of you. That's what
she did say that she's going to take a nap right after this.
Yeah. I'm serving you messy bun today. My nap messy bun.
I like messy bun. I like messy bun. Also joining us is the wonderful, beautiful Jonathan V. Polanco. Hi, love.
Hello. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm so good. First of all, I just need to do one of these. I am so happy that Michael is back. It's a whole bunch of confetti everywhere now.
That is
needed to make a mess real quick. Michael, it's so good to have you back.
Do you see my cheeks getting all rosy and blushing? Stop it.
Yeah, I just want to
now you have to clean that up.
Yeah, I'm like, that's such a commitment with the cleanup. Wow.
I don't go into work until 4:00 today. It's fine.
Wow.
Mike, he did that for you.
Also, this forced me to clean up my makeup area now, but for Michael, it was worth it. I just have confetti.
Speaking of sweet.
John, I have no words, my friend.
Yeah, I'm happy to leave you speechless, my darling, because you have been speechless.
He's been gone.
So we haven't heard from you
for a while, but he's back. He is back, and his hair is on fleek. Do they still say that, on fleek?
If so, no, you would know better than me.
If so, we have the wonderful Mr. Michael Anthony Crea. Welcome back, my friends.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be back. It's wonderful to see all of your faces. I've missed you all. Have still not seen the Snyder Cut. Sorry, anybody that that is watching and is a fan of the DC universe. Anybody from Warner Brothers, I'm sorry. I'm just bound by the mouse. So sorry, guys. And
really upset.
Team Godzilla. So there we go. There's my recap from the last couple of weeks.
And population of Warner Brothers employees that watch this podcast are going to be so upset.
They're going to be so mad at me, Jared. They're going to be so mad. I know. I apologize for offending all of them.
Watch In the Heights, girl. They're going to take it right off of your.
Yeah, I know. I'm never going to be able to see it.
Your HBO.
So we have Jacqui, Mike, and John. I think that's it.
There's one more.
Is there one more? Did I miss somebody?
You got somebody right here. You got somebody right here. Jersey's finest. Jersey's finest. You got Jared Milian in the building. In Jersey, we can announce ourselves. We're not like Philly where you need an introduction. We come with none at all. We also don't live in suburbs outside of in Jersey. What's up, Jersey? What's up? I don't gotta pretend I'm in a city, in a suburb. What's up, Jersey? Jersey in the house. Jersey's finest.
Oh.
New York is the city.
Down in South Jersey, our internet works. So
Yeah, because y'all ain't got nobody down there using it. Sis, when there's 8 people on the internet, anybody can use it.
You're not
It's
wrong.
You, a farmer, and a crackhead. That's all you got down there.
Oh my God.
I
this
just
is
want to
hilarious.
say,
Don't
you took
encourage
off-
this.
You took off your hat for 2 seconds and you looked like Prince Charming from Shrek. Holy moly. I saw that.
Yes, queen, work.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Look,
Have
It's
you
a
ever seen it? He has a
compliment,
slow motion
Oh.
hair scene where he's just like,
Girl,
It's a
I'm
that was
pushing
you.
This hair. This hair is like day 4. I gotta
Oh,
watch it today.
oh,
I'm
stop
pushing
it.
I'm pushing it.
Wow. Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again.
It'll still be in the same position. That's how dirty it is. If I take this hat off, it'll just.
Give the people what they want, mama.
But just kidding. Happy to be back. I do love my Philly friends. It's just fun to make fun of people. So gotta wake up and choose violence. Gotta wake up and be a bully.
Choose violence. And with that said, friends, this is also Jared's final time with us on the podcast. It's been fun. How do I say goodbye to what we had?
Well, you gotta flirt with the host, girl. Kyrus, you so sexy.
I'll be back, girl. Beyonce doesn't ever get kicked out the group. I'll be back.
I can't. With friends, we have a lot to go over. There's a couple things that I want to start off with. First and foremost, I have not seen this yet. This is Mortal Kombat.
You
Came
haven't
out
seen it?
yesterday. No, I have not. I was busy. I worked. I woke up early so I can watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then I worked, and then I went out with some friends in a town that's to not be named, and then I
Fear of retribution. Yep.
yeah, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up and was with you. So I have not watched it yet. Have any of you watched this movie?
I love you. I really do. But it is very surprising to me because like you're like, oh, I was so busy. This coming from a man that stays up 23 hours out of 24 in a day and like is literally like texting us at 3 a.m. and he's like, Falcon and Winter Soldier is great. I'm like, hold on.
That's
I'm
true.
like, why are you watching it now?
My alarm is for 3:05 a.m. every Friday, and I wake up and I watch it.
Do you go back to bed or you just like push through at that point?
I go back to bed and I wake up at like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Oofa.
That's actually, honestly though, like this is it. We could talk about this later, but that's actually probably really nice because I love waking up and going. I like the wake up after you wake up and go back to sleep, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, that makes sense.
sometimes I'll set like an early alarm to wake up for like 10-15 minutes and then go back to bed. It's nice. It's refreshing.
That's
So I
fair.
tried to watch some of this last night, not gonna lie, and I genuinely believe that I got the whole idea within the first 25 minutes of the movie. It is fun, it is action-packed. The fighting in this movie, at least of the first 25 minutes that I watched, is like chef's kiss. It's so good. And it's exactly what you kind of want out of a Mortal Kombat movie. It's
Sure.
It's intense, it's gory, it's over the top. Like if you can find the top, girl, let me know. And then also
I see what you did there.
and then they're just gonna like just friggin' catapult and just shoot themselves out of a cannon right over the top.
Is it more
much.
over the top than the original? Because that was over the
Way
top.
more, way
Yeah.
more.
I would say it's better than the original. I want to make this perfectly clear. The way you would define a good movie, this isn't a good movie, but it's good. But it's good. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
You get what you get. You're growing
Yeah.
into
Yeah. So
what Mortal Kombat is. You're gonna get what you want out of it. You know?
yeah. Charlie and I are like big Mortal Kombat fans. Like I played the game my whole life. I love I like the old movies for as terrible as they are. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing. I think that like, I actually thought it was great. Like, I don't think that like there was like I saw a lot of people complaining about like the story, but like if you've ever
Who watches
like
it for the
played the
story?
game, if you've ever like played the game, it felt very much like you were playing story mode on a game.
Sure.
Like it was like massive fight scenes and then like 5-10 minutes of dialogue, massive fight. And honestly, this is for Jacqui, but they incorporated the Mortal Kombat theme. Like
Yes.
it's incorporated, like it's in, and it's at an incredible moment. Spoiler
Nice.
alert! Like when Scorpion comes back, they play. grow
I
up.
want to watch it.
I
wanna watch it
wanted
and be
more.
surprised.
I wanted more techno music. Again, I wanted to feel like I was in a weird rave and I didn't get to attend the rave that I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted glow
Michael, are you
sticks.
gonna watch it with the
pretty
kids?
good though.
Oh yeah, I'll watch this. Oh yeah, for sure.
Are you gonna watch it with the kids?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's too much.
I would love to see
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
over.
that was a joke.
So cute. Oh my god.
My only like qualm with it, I would say, is that like Mortal Kombat has like a rich library of characters. They have hundreds of like fully developed characters, and so it's weird to me that they would create that lead character. He doesn't exist in the game. That was weird.
They created
And
a
also-
character for the movie.
Yeah, like he's like he's like the lead, and like he doesn't exist in the game, so
Does
it
he
doesn't really
fight?
make sense.
I think though he's used as kind of like the through line for the audience, basically.
Yes.
So they could get, because if like he didn't exist, he doesn't know about the tournament. You know, if he didn't exist, none of them would have to explain.
fair.
This is Mortal Kombat. This is what this is, and
That's
this
fair.
is like he's literally there.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I
So-
think it's clear to me that they're planning on doing more.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's very much like it follows kind of the theme of the first game a little bit,
That's
so
fair.
it kind of has that.
That's fair. And we'll do another podcast for it. But I just wanted to know if y'all saw it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Watch it. It's fun. It's just as entertaining as Godzilla versus King Kong. It's just
Got
as
it.
entertaining as that.
I'll grab some junk food and then I'll go watch it.
Yes, do
works.
that.
Also, we got
Absolutely.
some Russell Crowe news this week.
Oh.
Russell Crowe is joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Thor: Love and Thunder. The actor revealed in a radio interview that he was doing his last day of filming as Zeus, who is famously the father of Hercules and the ruler of the Olympian gods. Friends,
Love
are
it.
we excited for this?
I didn't know this, so yes.
This is good news.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I was hoping that he was gonna play what's it?
Mephisto.
Storm. No, I think of course I can't think of his, and I have to look it up. I can't think of his name now. There's another role that I thought he was going to play that I thought would have excited me. I think this is really cool. I wish that I guess they have no choice, but I'm kind of at a place now where we all know what I'm hoping happens in the fourth Thor film, but I'm kind of at a place now where I'm like, stop telling us shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just like let it come out now.
I want to enjoy the film.
Because I would have rather not know who Russell Crowe was playing.
Well, I think
and
that
just
was
find
Russell
out.
Crowe's fault. I
Yeah.
don't think, because this wasn't like official news. This was Russell Crowe doing an interview about something else, and then he just
He
happened
just
to
basically said, I finished filming. Yeah.
right, and that's exactly what Alfred Molina did this week as well when he was talking about Doc Ock, and how they said that he said in this random interview that wasn't anything about Marvel. It's just they just happened to ask him about Marvel, and he said that he had just finished filming his part, and that in the new Spider-Man movie, his arc picks up right where it left off in Spider-Man 2, was it? I guess yeah, it was
2,
Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
So I think that's honestly the actor's fault that they're just like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. And the Marvel, Kevin Feige's like, oh Jesus Christ.
Right, it's all these old men, these old white men who are just like, man, I'm in the Marvel universe now.
The
Like,
character is Beta Ray Bill. I thought he was going to be Beta Ray Bill.
right.
That's who I thought he was going to play.
That's what they thought about what's his face too.
Christian
Bale.
Bale.
Yeah.
Christian Bale, yeah. But
I think it's going to be good. I mean, Russell Crowe's a phenomenal actor. He really is. And like, I think that it's cool to have these like men that have like historic roles. Like Gladiator is such a historic film. It'll always be attached to Russell Crowe. Christian Bale has like an incredible library of like life-altering films that he's done.
man.
Yeah, there's a lot of great and then I think they just announced this week that what's her face, the other queen of Game of Thrones is joining the MCU and Secret Invasion.
Oh, yes.
Emilia
They
Clarke.
did.
Yes.
So I texted you guys.
This one, yes.
Two main guesses is I think it's either going to be, I think like logical guess is I think they might have her be Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four or the White Queen. I think it would be, because I think that she'd be cool as either role, and both have like arcs in Secret Invasion, so it would make sense if either of them if she played either of those roles.
Yeah.
I like Emilia Clarke. I think she's great. I fucking hate Daenerys, so we could talk about that on a different day. But I love Emilia Clarke, and I think that because I wanted her to replace Amber in Aquaman because there were all these rumors that she was going to do that. So like, I think Emilia Clarke in a superhero role is super cool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I loved her. I loved her as Khaleesi. I think she has a strong presence. But I also like if she plays Emma Frost, that'd be really great because January Jones was not it. Like she had the look of her, but she was not it.
I loved January Jones.
That was an
Really?
awful movie. That movie was awful.
The whole
Really? First Class? Really?
It's fine.
No. Wait. I thought that. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of what's her face in the more recent X-Men movie when she played with Was it Dark Phoenix? Who was that played the villain?
Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner.
You're talking about Sophie Turner?
No, not Sophie Turner. Who played the villain in Dark Phoenix? That wasn't Sophie Turner.
Oh, you're talking about
Jessica Chastain.
I love Jessica Chastain.
Oh, Jessica Chastain.
But it was like a
Yeah.
made-up role. That's another thing.
That's who I was.
You can't like in comic book films, in my opinion, you just can't be making up roles. There's too many so there's too much source material. I would rather you take a source material character and change their origin story completely before you make up a role.
Speaking of, we got a Shang-Chi trailer this week. Surprising dropping of this. This movie looks awesome.
My goodness.
Fight choreography in this movie looks incredible. I was a big fan of movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like I love those type of movies. Like, and to see that they're incorporating this into the MCU. And I love that, and I had asked this in the group because I wasn't super familiar with Shang-Chi, and I asked if he had any superpowers, and apparently he just doesn't. He just has his chi, which I like how grounded that is. That it's not always going to be about space adventures and Captain Marvels and and all of these Thors and all that. Like I like that he's just grounded human.
Is the it almost seems like kind of like a Black Panther, almost like rings are going to be giving him like that like power, and that like again the legend of the 10 rings. What is the legend? I've never really read the Shang-Chi comics, but like after watching this trailer, I might like that should look good. And oh my god, he is chef's kiss, delicious.
So I'm also super ignorant I'm also super ignorant when it comes to Shang-Chi. Like Jacqui, that you like know a lot about Shang-Chi, right?
I am very skewed. I read a few small comics on him. I wouldn't say that I know a lot about him, but I know a little bit. My question
is like, where do we think this is going to fit in? Like, what do we think this is like? Is there anything like major? Like, because I don't know that much about Shang-Chi.
He's intertwined with Avengers. He's had little fights with Avengers in terms of sparring. But other than that, like he honestly reminded me in the comics, he kind of gave me like Bruce Lee vibes, the way that he's like drawn and everything. He's just really, really strong in chi, and he can replicate himself. Like he can clone himself at whim. So he'll be really fun to watch.
Cool.
Just don't give me that power. I would be rooting people to
Mike, what did you think of Shang-Chi?
Oh my gosh, it looks incredible. I feel the same way that y'all do. Very unfamiliar with the source material, but the trailer looks absolutely incredible. I am all in for this movie, so bring it on. Yeah.
And what I didn't realize until later is that this is based in San Francisco, which is also where Mr. Ant-Man lives and resides as well. So I'm curious if I don't think there will be like a cameo of any sort, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's perhaps some sort of mention.
I'm interested because at one point he was offered a position in the Avengers, so I don't know how he's going to fit in, but he's definitely going to be intertwined in some way.
Right. Well, I mean, technically, there's no Avengers right now, right? Like technically speaking.
Technically,
they're all broken up. Yeah,
they're all.
I think it looks like the trailer to me. What was really cool was it felt like almost nostalgic because it just gives me like MCU origin story film. You know what I mean? Like like cool. We're gonna we're not gonna worry about cameos because this is gonna be like an origin story where we're just gonna find out
everybody.
Yeah, I guess the biggest cameo quote that we'll get is Sir Ben Kingsley, because we know that he is in this movie as well. So that should be nice. And I'm a fan of Awkwafina. I like her, and I'm glad she's getting her flowers.
Love her.
I'm so
I'm not.
I I think she's great. Honestly,
I love her so
Aquafina,
much.
she just has this uncanny ability to like make people like her, you know, like no matter what she does. And honestly, that's the thing too. She's as over the top and extra as she is, you buy it. Like I buy every second.
Yeah,
of
she's
She's not like
very-
she's never been annoying to me. She is over the top,
Yeah.
but she's not annoying to me.
She's
Yeah.
very genuine, charismatic, and eclectic.
Yeah. With that said, friends, it's about that
Oh
time.
my
Change
God,
that title.
Yes.
Change that
So
title
ready.
card.
Oh,
Change.
can you
Guys,
wait?
now. Well, not yet.
There's a reason. If you stay patient, there's a reason that I'm showing this right now. Perhaps
Sorry, we're not that
maybe-
patient in Jersey. We're not that patient. We
maybe
have too many
later
things going on.
We'll talk about the name change. Perhaps. Oh my gosh.
I love surprises, Kyrus. Keep us guessing.
So the episode begins obviously with that title card, which we'll talk about later. And then
Is that Harry Styles? That's Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. So the episode starts off obviously not the taskmaster, the hand and soap people, what do they call them?
Flag smashers.
Flag smashers, there we go.
Hand and stone people.
I love the hand and stone people. They're great.
I'm
They give great
not. He
massages.
said that I don't even know how that connects.
I don't
Like
know.
the hand. He's like the Bath and Body Works employee.
They might have known me because that's as important as they were. So the episode starts off. We get Sharon Carter, who is back in the United States, and she meets up with Mr. Winter Soldier here to, I guess, she's using the same technology here that Natasha was using in, was it Civil War? No, not Civil War.
No, it was Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yes. So it starts off there, and then we get our first glimpse.
Ah, goddamn.
We got our first glimpse.
Goddamn.
Mike, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts when you first saw Mr. Mackey as Captain America?
Yeah, so obviously this was the big build up from the end of episode 5. So that this is what we were all hoping was inside the briefcase. So it was really great to see the episode start with this. Makes me really happy that he decided to take up the mantle.
And he looks damn good.
I mean, look, he's a brilliant actor. I said this to you, I know it's been a while since I've been here, but when the season first started and I was talking about it, I did mention that Falcon was never one of my favorite roles. And throughout this entire series, him as an actor, constantly impresses me. And the character itself has definitely come a long way in these 6 episodes. So this was definitely something that I was really happy to see, really excited for. It was a great payoff, and I'm happy that it happened early in the episode. So we didn't have to wait. So it was perfect. It was perfect that it happened like right at the beginning.
Exactly. Jacqui, what were your thoughts?
Really satisfied. Like, I mean, I knew it was happening at this because it's the finale. I knew it was happening. So I was just like, oh, yay, kind of thing. I did. And also, like, I mean, I'm just happy to see Sam in this suit. Like, I feel like it's just really well earned. And I think he dealt with a lot of internal issues resulting with the burdens, correlated with the burdens of holding this shield. So it was really rewarding to see him in this suit.
Absolutely. Jared, what are your thoughts?
It's like I feel sad that it's over, to be honest. So like it almost like when he came out like in the suit, I like almost got this feeling. I was like, oh, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, but I think like I wanted to wait till the end to talk about like this, but for me, I'm just really proud of this show. Not that I had anything to do with it, but I'm just proud of it because I think there's been a lot of movies where Black men play these types of characters and it's like left to interpretation for young Black men to be like, oh, I saw myself as this, or I saw myself as that. And I think what's really cool about this one is they don't mince words or feelings. Absolutely. And they make you understand how important it is for not only us as viewers, but the characters in this universe to see a Black man as Captain America. So for me watching it, it was just this moment where this might sound dramatic, but I know I'm among friends. And I was like, this is really fucking cool. Like, I hate to curse. It was just this moment where I was like, this is something that we're going to live through, that we're going to look back on, that like is going to change the way I think that we view Black men as superheroes. And I think it's powerful that he had an internal struggle between himself and Isaiah of maybe not wanting to do it because of what it would mean. And I think it's powerful that he said, no, I'm going to control this. So just seeing this image, I think it felt very right, if that makes sense. It felt like I was like a key in a lock almost. I was like, this is perfect. If it's not going to be Steve Rogers, it's going to be Sam.
I agree. John.
A nail on the head, man, with the struggle, like that was one of the coolest things in the series.
I want to highlight his speech that he gave at the end later, because like that was nailed, man. And him and Isaiah Bradley. Oh my goodness. John, what were your thoughts?
I loved the suit. It was great. no, sorry. There was so much that just was talked about. No, I agree. I with all the points that you guys have made, I actually been watching Captain America: Civil War and Captain America: Winter Soldier like within the past like 2 days, and like from the first time that he like showed up in the running scene, on your left, you could feel that there was so much more to this character, that there was so much like potential with him and the whole story arc. And it's really kind of beautiful where it went, because in Winter Soldier, like I remember somebody was asking him a question. He was like, "Don't look at me. I'm his sidekick." Like he always like was this kind of sidekick. I don't think he said sidekick, but like it gave that vibe to like him being front and center on the pedestal, being the star, literally with the star, like 2 stars on him. Like that is like what I think everybody was waiting for. And again, what the payoff was perfect. It was great.
I agree. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, even though we all knew it was coming. Like it was still like I still like applauded. Like I literally applauded. And it was just so cool.
Because they were smart too. Just having that box, they knew how to set.
Oh yeah, thank you, Wakanda. Wakanda coming in clutch again. Wakanda coming in clutch again. Then we get shout out to Bucky, who has accepted his role, I guess. Like not only as a character in the show, but like Sebastian Stan in general, I think has just accepted his role in all of this, and he has embraced it, and it's so clear that he's enjoying it, I think, at least. So I just wanted to take a second and give some love to Bucky and Sebastian
my
Stan.
Baby daddy, honey, my baby daddy.
So handsome.
Shout out to him. Thoughts on Carly? We finally got Carly's the end of her arc in this episode. Okay, so I would say perhaps this might be one of my only negatives with the show.
Same.
She is perfectly fine, like whatever, like her as an actress. I have nothing against her as an actress. My issue comes with the Hand and Stone, the Flag Smashers being the main, I guess, villains of the show. Like I get what they were doing and I understand their goal. But I was like, okay, sure. Carly just wasn't a formidable foe to me. When I think of foes, like I think of like, Agatha. I think of, like all the, I don't know, you can name it. And I have nothing against this actress because I think she played the role well. From a plot point, I was just like, okay. But with that being said, I did hear that there was a lot of stuff that was taken out of the episode or out of the series because of the pandemic. I did hear that there was like a whole plot point about I guess a global pandemic of sorts that was written before all of this, and that the Flag Smashers played, there was more of a backstory to the Flag Smashers and the reason why they're doing this and all of that, and they had to change some stuff around before filming, like last minute before filming started, I guess. But what were your thoughts on Carly? Jacqui, I'll start with you.
It's fine. I mean, I found it to be lukewarm. One, I was telling Chris while I was watching it is that like Zima said she was too radicalized to really to really see the light, which, I mean, he called it. Like, she didn't see the light and she had to die, and I kind of knew that was going to happen. But also, like, she was going down a path that she wasn't going to come back from anyway, where like little things were becoming okay, and they shouldn't have been okay.
They were like so smart up until like certain points, and then it's like, if you would have just kept being smart with your decisions, like you probably would have successfully pulled this off. Not that I was rooting for her, but Jesus.
Yeah. Again, I didn't care too much about the Flag Smashers either. I watched it with a grain of salt, and I was just like, I just want to see what happens with everything else.
That's fair. Mike, what did you think of Carly?
Oh, guys, I've got thoughts about this, and I think I disagree with all of you.
Okay.
I didn't go yet. We might agree.
All right, girl. So I'm sorry, I liked Carly, and the reason why I liked Carly is I got such validation from Sam at the end of the episode, because everything that he said in that final monologue, I was thinking, Carly was a teenager and she was leading this. She took the super serum. She became the de facto leader of this group, and all she was doing was disagreeing with what was happening with the way that the people who were displaced from the blip, which I hate, but you know, were being treated, and you know, I think I agree that I think the plot, the execution of it was rushed a little bit, and I don't think that was anybody's control. I think that had a lot to do with just, you know, the real world and what was going on. And I do think that things got cut, and I think, you know, the execution could have been better, but I actually liked the fact that the character was this not misguided, but maybe misled, just young person, you know, who just had this thought and had these beliefs and had these what's the word, just was really strong in her convictions, and just went with it, but at the end of the day was still a young person, and made mistakes, and anybody who felt this way can get to the point of being so radicalized and so misguided, and could potentially cause havoc and cause, you know, so much anarchy, essentially. What Sam said at the end of the episode, he's like, it doesn't matter, there's going to be another Carly, there's going to be, it doesn't matter if it's a purple god, you know, referencing Thanos, you know, some like a Thanos level villain, or just some person who is so strong in their convictions and wants to change something about what's going on and can get to this point. And so I'm sorry, I liked it. You know what I mean? And the actress was wonderful. You know, I wish there was more. I wish she had more you know, material. And I harken back to the fact that I think things were rushed a little bit. So, but I did not mind it at all. Good for her. What's her real name? I apologize, but Kellyman, Erin Kellyman.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think she's gay too. So welcome, like, yes for the family, yes for the LGBTQ family.
Right? No, so I'm sorry. I was totally fine with her and the Flag Smashers being the main villains of the series.
No,
we brought it down a notch. It didn't need to be something so extravagant, you know. Like we brought it down, and I'm okay with that.
You are wrong. Nobody's allowed to disagree with me at all. That's not how this works. Jared, do you agree with Mike?
So I kind of do, and then I kind of don't. But so I'm gonna try to keep it like organized. I know it's difficult for me, but like my first qualm is not my first qualm. I think we'll be able to talk about this when Loki comes out. But I think that what we're seeing here is, I think that if we got big bads with these shows, there would be other superheroes that showed up. So I think that's why we get the Flag Smashers and something like Agatha, who, while they are villains in this story, Wanda can handle Agatha. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier can handle the Flag Smashers. So I think that's kind of why we get like so much character work on the characters that are the title characters and these like not as important villains, because these aren't films, they are series. And I think they're really put in place to develop these characters in a way you can't on film. My issue, I read this in an article, so I might plagiarize a little bit, but it definitely really spoke to me. And it's really the way, my issue's not with Carly or with the character of the actress. It's really with the way the show's written. Because I think that when it comes to revolutionists, we tend to, like, if you look at history books, like revolutionists, essentially, we get the side of the story of whoever won. You know what I mean? So we hear in the history books of whoever won. And when it comes to this situation, I think that there was a lot more to be done with really what Carly was fighting for. And I think that, like, if we really got maybe more into what Carly went through in the 5 years that she didn't get snapped and what was happening and why, because if you think about it, this whole one world, one people thing perspective, and maybe a little less angry woman and a little less like angry teenager and a little more, I wish she didn't die, honestly, because I think that we could have gotten more from a Carly that was alive.
Do we know that she actually died?
Yeah, she's dead.
Because like I know she was.
I mean, I think they're all dead now.
Yeah, I think that's why they blew up
right.
that van.
Right.
I think that was the point of it.
Van. Yeah, that's fair. John, what did you think of Carly?
So I agree with Michael. I think that her arc is really powerful because, again, from like such a young age, she was thrust up to like this, like basically like queen of her own, like queen, like the way that she talks to her people, like everything like that. It's they're all going to her for support. And even in the episode where was it her mother specifically? I don't know.
Yeah, that was
this
her
woman
mom.
died. It was her mom died. And like all these people surrounded her and stuff like that because like that's like she's like almost their messiah, and she has this kind of like, I feel like she started getting this god complex, you know, like she felt that it was okay for her to go around killing people, you know, she justified it, but she's also doing it for a reason. I understand that, but I agree with you, Kyrus, as well. And Jacqui, I felt like the ending for it was a little lukewarm because I never for a second thought that they were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a minute where I was just like, they might kill these people. Oh God, they might win. They might, like, I never thought that. Whereas
but that's like, but that's like what I'm saying.
I totally was like, Agatha is sucking the life out of Wanda. What? Oh my God. Like I genuinely was on that ride with WandaVision. Whereas with this one, it wasn't. I just knew they're not going to get it. It's just, how are they not going to get it?
But that's the thing is, like,
I never thought that they would win.
If the Flag Smashers did win, though, like other superheroes would show up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, well, but that's the thing. I get that.
It's more so just about kind of story and exactly like what you were saying, to your credit, Jared. It's like the way that it was written, the episode. Again, the stakes, it didn't feel like when he was fighting, what's his name? Pierre Escargot. That's not his name, but you know what I mean. When Sam was fighting him, I was like, oh shit, he's not going to get to this helicopter in time. Like, what's going to happen? Maybe that'll lead to a new story, season 2 or something like that. You know, like he needs to save these hostages from this one lone thing that got away. But like then over the course of the episode, you know, he's flying. We see what's it called? Red Eye, not Red Eye. What was his name? The little kind of little
Red Wing.
robot.
Red Wing.
Red Wing. Yeah, Red Wing 2.0. Wakanda version, the Wakanda edition, Red Wing, here for it. You know, we got all of that excitement, but you know, again, when they were trying to steal these hostages and all this stuff, I still like, even with the excitement, I still was like, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. I never had that moment where I was like,
you put it into perfect terms. At no point did I ever think that they were going to win. Yeah. So like,
you need that feeling of like, oh
from
crap.
A storytelling perspective, like I get why they were chosen, and I like I totally get it. You know, she's just not one of my all-time favorites. I didn't realize. I just looked her up. Erin Kellyman. I didn't realize this is the same girl that was. The light-skinned girl from Solo, and I didn't.
They're busy at that they're busy over there at that Disney casting office. Yes, they just be passing people from one room to the other. They're like, "What do you want to do?"
So we got the Michael's the Michael's.
If you don't put that tinfoil shield away, I swear to God, if you don't put that shield down,
Mhm.
We
Girl,
got
get
the
that trash
Michaels
can
the Michaels Arts and
lifestyle.
Crafts store.
I said,
shield.
Oscar the Grouch. If you
My
don't put that
favorite
trash
part-
can away.
My favorite part was when he threw it at Carly, and Carly
Yeah.
was like, "Get that shit out of here."
Yes.
And that's another MCU thing is I love that they showed how flimsy it was. I love that
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't let us. They
Which
showed,
I think I do have a picture of that later. Yeah, absolutely.
not giving us the whole after credit scene of him building it just to let them
Right.
show them bending it in one
Right.
moment. I was like, go ahead, Marvel.
So also one of the things that made me happy with this finale is that we, outside of the opening scene from the series, we didn't get really any Falcon aerial stuff. Like we saw him flying, obviously,
Yeah.
but like the flight wasn't a necessary part of the battle for most of the season, if not all, except for the beginning and the final scene with the helicopter, which I thought was incredibly well done. I just loved this entire him carrying the shield as he's flying
Yes.
and
Good.
taking down that
So
helicopter.
good.
It was so cool. I just
And I tell
Yeah.
you that I cried when the wings came out. Like I literally, I was. That's what we're doing. I'm crying.
yeah, I thought that was
Gotcha.
real. I thought that was really cool. Here it is.
Yeah.
Best.
Here it is.
So
The best.
ghetto.
Here
Such
it
a
is.
busted up shield.
Yeah.
Like it's some kid's Halloween costume.
All that work for why?
Right.
Not
For
a
what
Party
reason?
City shield. I was like, not the par- I said, come on now. I was like, you gotta give my man something. I
I'm
was
just
like,
saying.
He called it a Party City
Have
shield.
you ever, like, I have never felt so connected to a picture in my life before. Like, that's what I feel like after the week is up. Like, after I'm
Oh my
done
God.
working for the week, that is how I feel. Like, bright and colorful, but busted the fuck up, girl.
I can't.
Ah.
I took a picture of this shot because I thought it was so cool. Just
Loved
that
it.
visually.
whole sequence was insane.
Loved it.
Oh,
That whole
I died. Because again, no super soldier serum. All the motherfuckers with super soldier serum were looking up at him.
Right.
Staring up at him.
Right. That's
from
right.
Yep.
Yeah,
down
Bucky
there
was
because
down on
they
the
were all
ground.
beneath
Bucky
him.
was down on the ground. Party City was up, looking helpless at the thing, and then
Party City.
Falcon
Oh, I love it.
Falcon was like, oh, "Fine, whatever, I got it."
I
Oh,
thought
okay.
that
I'm
Bucky
not
was
gonna
gonna
wait for
catch
you.
it. At
Me
first,
too.
I
Yeah.
thought I was like, "Yes, Bucky,
So,
with your good arm,
I'm
catch
not
it."
gonna lie. Actually, I did come into this episode thinking that Bucky might die. I'm not
I
gonna
would
lie.
never like it
Nah.
would. That would
Again,
be it. I
never
would quit.
crossed my
That would be
mind.
it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did. I like once it kind of got halfway through the episode, I'm like, oh, they're not gonna kill this dude. But like, I did go
Well,
in
he
being
needed
like,
to die.
if there's
He
any
needed to
major
talk to him.
deaths, I think it would be Bucky.
Interesting.
So I think, and when we get to the title card, we can talk more about
Yeah.
this. I won't. But I think
Oh no, the suspense.
Anticipation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
He's
Oh
freaking
no.
out right now.
He
I'll
hates
finish.
the
I'm gonna finish his
connection.
thought. I'm gonna finish this thought. I think that Philadelphia is the best city of all time. There is nothing better than Philadelphia. Philadelphia is amazing.
Yep.
I can't wait to
Jared, you
spend
have
all
such
of my
a silky
time.
chocolate
in
voice.
Philadelphia.
I'm loving this. Oh.
Where is he? Where is he? Oh, okay. There he is.
Oh,
Hi,
feel so
Benzito,
bad.
he's back.
I feel
He's
so
back.
bad.
We're back, baby.
What were you saying, Jared?
You think what, Jared?
Oh, is he from? Look at that face.
Oh, wait, is he
Oh,
frozen again?
no.
No, he's gone again.
What a hug him.
Oh no. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad.
Oh.
next.
Oh, now I feel. Oh well.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There you go. This was an important moment here when my grandfather says that Black Falcon, and then the other guy's like, nah, man, that's Captain America.
Captain America.
So scripted,
This-
but I love it.
Right. But like that's the kind of stuff I love because like as cheesy as it was, that reminded me of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because like that's the kind of stuff that would say like you would never see this in a DC movie. Ever.
Oh no.
They still have time. They
Yeah.
still have time.
And if they did, it'd be in slow motion.
Yeah.
not slow motion, honey.
But I actually really like this, especially that it's just two people of color that are doing this.
Mhm.
I just thought that was really cool. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm not mad.
Oh boy.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
I am too.
Me too. Me too.
I'm a little disappointed. John, I'll start with you. I'm not even going to introduce this segment. John, what are your thoughts?
I feel you because, like, again, watching the Winter Soldier in Civil War, I loved her character. But, like, and that's the other thing too. I was watching something online last night that was kind of alluding to the fact that, like, questioning how she became the power broker. Like, how did she do that? Because apparently in Avengers, or in what's it called?
Civil War?
No, the when the Captain Marvel at the very end, where they're showing the people who got blipped, she was the person that got blipped. So they're like wondering, how did she come back and then in 6 months become the power broker? But then at the same time, other people argue, well, maybe she didn't get blipped, she just disappeared for the 5
yeah.
years.
There are a lot of contradictions, because if you go back to the beginning of the season when Zemo was describing the power broker, it doesn't make much sense. I mean, just even from a pronoun standpoint, he was talking about he, right?
Yeah.
But then also from a historical standpoint, Zemo was saying things like, he knew the power broker like before technically the events of Civil War.
Yeah.
Right? Which doesn't make sense now that we find out that she's the power broker. So I don't know. Jacqui, what are your thoughts?
She could also be like a second in line type of power broker. Like, I don't know. She could.
Well, they'll find a way to gaslight us, just like they did with
what I feel like this was though. I feel like this was. See you in season 2, guys. Like, I feel like that. Like, I feel like this was like the setup for season 2. I feel like the stuff with Val is the setup for something bigger, like in the movies.
Sure.
And I feel like this is the setup for season 2.
Sure, that's fair.
You know,
Jacqui, what do you think?
At this point, I just want to see what happens. I just thought she deserved better than what the finale gave her. We're talking about the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Femme Force. She's a big friggin' deal. And I don't know. I felt like she deserved better. I'm not mad at her. I'm disappointed.
Jared, what are your thoughts on Miss Sharon?
Can you guys hear me, or am I just like ghetto internet again?
No, we
can hear you.
It's so weird, not that you care, but it's like the internet just doesn't work in either our office or our bed.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
But here's Wanda. She wanted to come.
Hi. Yes, what's up, Chaos Magic?
She's so pretty.
Dang, she's a little street. Anyway, I don't know. Like, I was very indifferent in the fact that, like, I thought it was cool. I think that we all called it from like the first time she showed up. Yeah. So it wasn't like a big surprise. This is gonna sound super like actory for me, but like I almost like just don't believe her. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
So in that after credits scene, like when she was like on the phone, I'm like, this feels very like
forced scripted.
Forced.
Yeah, I like don't believe her. Like, I think it's a cool but like you're gonna tell me that Peggy Carter's like great niece is a villain? Like, that makes no sense. Like, it, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that maybe some.
Ooh, Kevin Feige said he's dropping spoilers for season 2. Let's fuck up his internet.
You're hoping that what?
I said I'm hoping that like maybe something else is coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay.
I agree 100%. Mike, what are your thoughts on Miss Sharon Cole?
I'm going to kind of echo what everybody else is saying, but I also think that you know, all of her material was probably kind of cut away, and I think it was just because of it was really poorly executed. I think it definitely could have happened way better. I think if they had more time, you know, and it was very diluted for me. Like, I was like, what's going on here? Why is this happening? I completely agree with you. I know I wasn't here for the other weekly recaps, but if I was, I would have said to you way back, you know, in I believe it was episode 3, when she first made her appearance, you know, during the big sequence with the cargo containers, you know, after she kind of drives off, that was when in my head, I was like, she's the power broker. So I'm with you guys. I call I called this as well. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't, because I like being surprised. I don't like being, figuring things out early. So I wasn't shocked when it was revealed that she was the power broker, but I think all of her material kind of went by the wayside, and I'm sure there was more at some point, but it just kind of got snipped away. But yes, I agree with John, where I can definitely see this being a lead into season 2. Definitely want to see more from her and figure out why on earth they're going in this direction with Sharon. But yeah, just not necessarily disappointed. I'm hoping that there's more coming.
I'm so sorry. I just had the craziest thought. What if she's a scroll?
I was gonna say that.
I thought it might. I thought that could be the case at one point. Yeah.
I think that she's gonna end up like being a part of like Dark Avengers or one of those kind of things. I think that's what it's gonna be.
I don't want that.
Because I initially thought Skrull too, but I think for me, this is really fucking wild. So my internet will probably go out. But for me, Mystique, here we go. Mystique is a huge part of Madripoor. And
okay.
And for me, Mystique also, as Raven Darkholme, worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a very long time and had all access to all these things. So I would almost rather find out that she's Mystique versus a Skrull, because I think at this point they're using the Skrull thing too much, and I'm like, I don't need any more. It's almost like it's like, what'd you say?
Yeah, that's what they're setting it up for.
I know, but I think that it's going to get to a point where it's going to seem too convenient. Do you know what I mean?
Do you mean like it's going to cheapen it, basically? Like everybody's a Skrull,
or it's going to be like anytime they want to fix a plot point, they're like, "Oh, that was a Skrull. That was a Skrull."
For sure.
Okay, I get you.
That's fair.
So I would believe it more if in the next time we see her, we find
there's Feige.
That she's Mystique.
Yeah, and one of the things I do want to point out, and I meant to point this out when we were talking about Shang-Chi, is that one of the clips in the trailer, and I looked up, and there was a couple people that did say that it looks like that Shang-Chi does have a scene in Madripoor, so it looks like we might be returning to Madripoor in Shang-Chi, which would be really cool. Shout out to Dollar Store and Winter Soldier.
Party City
capturing the Party City winter, or what do you call them? Party City. What do we call it? No, that's
Party City. I like Party City.
Are we calling Party City? All right, the party.
I like Counterfeit Cap. I like Counterfeit Cap.
And Winter Soldier capturing the rest of the Hand and Shoulder Bath and Body Works villains. It's cool to see them working together. And this is Carly Lang in Captain's Arms. I feel so good to say that and not say Falcon. Like I'm just Carly Lang and Falcon, and then he flies her out. And then we get this scene. So for copyright purposes, I can't show it. However, I do want to read a little snippet of what he says here during the scene. While talking to the senator, he says, "You know what? You're right, and that's a good thing. We finally have a common struggle now. Think about that. For once, all the people who've been begging, and I literally mean begging, for you to feel how hard any given day is. Now you know. How did it feel to be helpless? How if you can remember what it felt like to be helpless and to face a force so powerful it could erase half the planet, you would know that you're about to have the exact same impact. This isn't about easy decisions, Senator." And then when the senator reiterates that Sam doesn't understand, it's then when Sam really kicks into high gear and he says, "I am a black man carrying the stars and stripes. What don't I understand? Every time I pick this thing up, I know there are, this is when I started crying, by the way. Every time I pick this thing up, I know there are millions of people out there who are going to hate me for it." What I love about that line is that this isn't just a show line. This is him addressing every single
everybody.
That's like blah 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 blah. Even now, here I feel it. The stares, the judgment, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Yet I'm still here. No super serum, no blonde hair or blue eyes. The only power I have is that I believe we can do better. We can't demand that people step up if we don't meet them halfway. You control the banks. Shit, you can move borders. You can knock down a forest with an email. You can move 1 million people with a phone call. The question is, who's in the room with you when you're making those decisions? Is it the people you're going to impact, or is it more people like you? I mean, this girl died trying to stop you, and no one has stopped for a second to ask why. You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up, because if you don't, the next Carly will, and you don't want to see 2.0. People believed in her because believed in her so much that they have helped her defy the strongest governments in the world. Why do you think that is? Look, you people have just as much power as an insane god or a misguided teenager. The question you have to ask yourself is, how are you going to use it? When I tell you that I sat up in my bed at this point it's 3:45 a.m. I sit up. Oh, did we lose Jared? I just realized we lost Jared. I sat up in my bed, and I literally hit pause, and I just had to let all of that sink in, because like, good Lord. So Mike, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on just this moment?
Man, you hit the nail on the head, dude. It was first of all, it was brilliantly written.
Yes.
Second of all, it was perfectly acted by a stellar actor. Yeah. But yes, I said before the season started that, you know, there were real life, dare I say, you know, political, you know, moments to this show. That's what people were saying, and this is timely. This is raw. This is what we need to hear, and it's important. And so I'm happy that it was presented that way. And with regard to the show itself, to what I was speaking about, you know, before, he was associating, you know, this misguided teenager with a god from another planet, and, you know, basically saying, you know, you don't want to see what the next one's going to be. There will be a next one if we don't do something about this. So tying it all together, I think, was a very important thing for them to do in the show. So I appreciated that. That is exactly what I needed to hear as a viewer. But as a human being, you know, every aspect of that monologue and that dialogue, hit me right to the core, and I appreciated it so much, and we need to hear more like that. Absolutely. So that is exactly what I needed.
They worked that into
100%. Yes.
John, what were your thoughts?
I mean, again, I'm gonna be preaching to the choir. It was amazing. I mean, honestly, just Anthony Mackie's delivery. I will watch whatever this man is in. I just am obsessed with him. He's so great. He's so charismatic. You really hang on every single word. And again, God, the writing is so good. Like this speech, I forgave a lot of my qualms about, like, oh, the power broker. Oh, I don't care what's happening with the flags. Like all of this stuff. I feel like this was so much more of a climax. I'm salivating over how good this was.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Really enjoyable.
So good, Jacqui.
This is what, like, comic books are all about, right? It's really, really thought-evoking, and it comes from the mouths of people that these fictitious characters that you really, really respect. Art imitates life. Comic books have always imitated life and what we're going through at the current time. And I hate naysayers that are just like, oh, I have to bring this in. It has always imitated life. Art imitates life. If you don't like that, then go watch Saturday Morning Nicktoons, because this isn't for you. And it needed to be said. And I'm just so happy that they did it. It needed to be said.
Yeah. Jared, what were your thoughts on this scene?
I mean, hopefully I don't get cut off, but I thought that, like, in very simple terms, I thought that this is what the show was about. I thought that, like, I thought that the reason that other stuff maybe doesn't feel as fully developed, or there's other things in this is the point of the show, is to, I think, understand the struggles of not just Black people, but really anyone that is at the mercy of the government, you know what I mean, or at the mercy of circumstance. And I think it's important. This was kind of what I was saying earlier about like the revolutionists. Is it's interesting to me because I felt like this was finally, like Michael was saying, when they were talking about Carly, this was finally where you're understanding her motives and you're understanding why she's in the position she's in. And just to have Captain Cap, it's so crazy to be like Cap, but now to have like,
it feels so good
to have him really standing there. And it was this moment where, as much as I don't want to take anything away from Sam, it was very much like, that's what Steve Rogers would have done too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I thought that was such like, you know, that they did such a good job of making us really feel like the counterfeit Cap was counterfeit, so that this moment and these moments, I'm ready for Captain America 4. I'm ready for whatever is next. I'm ready to see him as Captain America. He is Captain America. And it just makes everything else that came up to this point so powerful. And for him to really speak specifically about the struggles and where he was in this moment, I thought was a perfect ending to the show. I really do.
Jacqui?
Did you see how John Walker looked when he was saying this speech? Like, this guy needs validation any way that he could get it. And you can see on his face that he felt so inadequate. Like, he was just like, man, my shield is broken. His speeches are better. My suit isn't even that cool. His suit's cooler. And I'm just like, yes.
And giving those good speeches like Steve did, girl.
Yeah.
Well, I know it was
how to talk to people.
Well, it was also a really brief moment in Endgame, but it really does take it all the way back there when Steve tried to give it to Sam, and Sam was struggling with it and said, you know, it feels like it belongs to somebody else. It took me right back there, and I was like,
yeah,
he finally found, you know, the reason to take it up, and it took all of this time, and that's so satisfying for me, because it wasn't a snap decision. It wasn't, he really struggled with it, and the series put it, you know, took it from one point to the next and moved the story forward, and that's exactly what I want in a series.
Absolutely. And this was Isaiah Bradley's reaction to watching Captain give this speech, which we'll talk about in a second, because they have a really good moment at the end as well. And then we get one more shot of Zemo, who is on the raft. And
still pulling strings, girl.
I know. I would imagine at some point he's going to get a visit from either Val or from Thunderbolt. I would imagine he's going to get a view from one of them. Speaking of Val, looks like Party City got a little upgrade. Looks like he got that stimmy. He got the stimmy, and
he got that stimmy. Thank you.
some more counterfeit validation for it.
Yeah, right. And you know what? I think, Jared, it was you that was saying this, or John. I don't remember who was saying this, but talking about how obviously Val was supposed to make her debut.
Yeah, it was Black Widow.
Yeah, in Black Widow. And I'm sure like her cameo in this would have paid off more if it was, you know, in the original order. But it is what it is now.
And she's still a massive star. She's a massive star.
Yeah,
it's a huge cameo.
Yeah,
Right.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for her. I guess because we know that she's going to be playing a major part in the movies, right? So I'm curious, like, if the U.S. agent, which he got the U.S. agent name in this scene. I'm curious if I know obviously he'll most likely be featured in the second season of this show. But I'm curious if like whatever team she's building, if it's going to be mainly for a TV show or if it's going to be for a movie. So I'm curious.
It's definitely gonna, in my opinion, I think I want to say they're the Dark Avengers, but Jacqui, there's a team that Zemo leads.
The Thunderbolts.
The Thunderbolts. It's too obvious. I mean, I think that's clearly where it's going. And I think that's why she said what she said. Like, we're not going to need a Captain America, because what I heard there is like, we're not going to need the Avengers the way the world's going to go. Because the Thunderbolts are like Marvel's Suicide Squad, you know? Right. So I also think, what's his name? I forget his name, his real name.
John Walker.
The actor.
Russell.
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yeah.
I also think like what they did for Wyatt Russell, I wish they did for Carly, because I feel like I said, I appreciate every single thing Wyatt Russell did, because I think that he made a very unlikable character really understandable, you know?
Yes.
And I
I as an actor, I thought he did really well. Mike, what were you saying?
Yeah.
No, I was just.
Oh, I thought you were saying, sorry.
Nope. I'm agreeing with everything that y'all are saying. I think that he had his own validation, if that's a way of putting it, because he was so unlikable. The poor actor was being treated so badly as well,
which is dumb.
for
like,
playing
people need to separate that shit. Like,
yes, for sure. Yeah, so I definitely think that in this episode he got his own closure, and I think we'll obviously see where the role goes, but yeah, no, I he had some payoff in this episode, and I was fine with that.
Speaking of closure, we have Bucky going to tell this man that he murdered his son in cold blood. I think the most heartbreaking part of this scene was when he asked why, and he's like, what did he say? He either said, I don't know, or
I didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. That's what it was. Yeah. And oh my goodness. I don't know why I didn't take a screenshot of his face.
I think the thing is that was so heartbreaking about that scene too, is it's like, they will probably never be friends again. Like, because like I get it, he didn't have a choice, but like, I could never sit across the table from someone I know murdered somebody I love, like, regardless of whether he had a choice or not. Right. I think that was the most heartbreaking part about it. And I feel like that's also the kind of vibe you get when he kind of walks past the window at the very, very end.
Yeah, exactly, Jonathan.
This one right here.
He looks in. We love a segue.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows. Like,
he knows.
I can never come. I can never go. I can't go. Like, there's an empty chair right next to him. There's an empty chair right next to him.
I do like that. I don't remember her name. But the Asian bartender lady does look up at him, and I guess not smile, but like she does acknowledge him, and so I don't think she hates him. I guess I don't know. I would imagine.
But she probably don't know the truth. I doubt that he would have told her, like, maybe. I killed his son. Like, I don't think that comes up in conversation easily.
And then,
this is where I cried. Yeah. Oh my God.
We got this shot. Oh man. So this is when Isaiah Bradley walks into Captain's Museum to see that he has his own statue there, and just memorial area.
This country will never forget what you did for it. Like, I was like, I have chills.
Let me tell you,
just talking about it.
More so than this image is right before it, when he shakes his hand, and when he shakes his hand, he says ever, they're never ever gonna forget. Right. Like, that hit me like that. I was like, Anthony, dude, you're crushing it. Continue to crush it.
Can we just talk about, just as, because we all appreciate the craft of acting, right? Mm-hmm. Can we just talk about Isaiah Bradley for a hot second, and just how well Carl Lumbly played this character? He did so well for having he didn't have to do much, but he gave it everything. Like, he didn't have to go this hard.
No,
he didn't have to, but he did.
I hope we see him in season 2. I hope we see more of him. I'm sure we're going to. His grandson.
Great.
Here y'all go with this Young Avengers shit. Here y'all go.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's my moment.
Here y'all go with this Young Avengers.
I'm just saying, I'm not expecting it immediately, but at the same time, I want to see more of those characters. I want them to develop further. Dare I say, let's have a Cap and Cap team up in Captain America 4 with a lovely Anthony Mackie. Let's get Isaiah Bradley up in there. Let's bring back Steve Rogers from the dead. Let's have all the Caps.
He's on the moon, John. He is on the moon.
I think,
I don't care. Go up there. Oh, fly up there, Falcon. That Wakanda suit definitely could go into space. All right, don't play me.
I think for me, like, what's really interesting about the Isaiah stuff is, I think in all marginalized groups, like in the Black community and the LGBTQ community, there's generational differences, and there are people that paved the way for us, and then there are people that are resentful of the freedoms that we get because of what they have fought for.
Sure.
And I think it's really interesting because I can speak more to a lot of older gay men, but I know, I think I've seen it in the Black community as well, obviously, where, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm glad you have all the freedom to have what you want now. I think that's great. And I'm glad that I helped you fight for it, but don't expect us to like break bread together because you get to live a life that I wasn't able to live. And I think this moment at the end is finally Isaiah understanding the impact that he had on Sam. And I thought it was just really powerful. I thought the whole thing was really powerful.
I agree.
You were right. He didn't do much, but everything he did, he just did it 100%.
Yeah, nuanced, so nuanced.
100. Yeah,
here's a picture of the end where we see Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan looking at their paychecks,
right,
current and future.
Paychecks, right, all the jobs they're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
They are I mean, if I was in the MCU and I knew that my future was secured, like I'd be looking out into the distance just like they are.
Right, buy myself a nice spot. I wonder if Anthony Mackie's just gonna buy this
for life. Yeah. Like they're set for life. I mean, bar any sort of like cancellation, you know, like come to find out like Sebastian Stan, like I don't know, like slapped a nun when he was in 1985 or something.
Good for
like
him. Good for him.
But that's the thing. That's like the thing is so many of them, like cancel culture in the way that it is now. So many of them they kind of joined the MCU before it became what it is.
Yeah.
So I think 90% of them are like, we got to be on our best behavior because I can't mess up this paycheck. I can't mess up this paycheck. And that's why, like, look at Robert Downey Jr. For the years he was in the MCU, like he did like 3 other movies, maybe 3 or 4 other movies, because it's like there's too much room for
kids movies.
And I'm not gonna mess up a $50 million paycheck. Like
exactly.
Right. He became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood
just from this one franchise.
So at our post credit scene that we got, because we're all trained to look for the post credits, we got I forgot who said it before. Was it you, Mike, or Jared, that was talking about how this wasn't believable at all?
This is where she lost me. This is where she lost me with this scene.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
she looks like she's trying to sell like AT&T to me.
And that hair, her
she's
hair
like
is so bad.
Yeah,
her hair is so bad.
Can you hear me now?
You know, it just goes back to, you know, feeling rushed, you know, feeling really poorly executed. You know, obviously there's going to be more about this, and it will get developed, but yeah, it just wasn't.
And, like, it was cheap. Like I feel like post credits are stingers, and this I was just like, okay.
And it's
I was
also
hoping
like
you would lead to something a little bit bigger, because the post-credit scene for WandaVision, I was like, holy shit, what's gotta happen? And this one, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I think it's also like most post-credit scenes, like, I think what they wanted us to care about was like who she's on the phone with, and I just didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
Jacqui,
like,
what did
you know
think?
what? I would have appreciated if I found out that was Natasha the whole time. I would have rather that, to be honest.
I thought you wanted to cancel Natasha.
I want to cancel the idea that we should bring Natasha back after we unnecessarily murdered her. That's what I want to cancel.
Jacqui, what did you think of this post-credit scene?
I feel like I have nothing new to add. It was just
You were disappointed again. You weren't mad. You were just disappointed.
I just genuinely don't care. Like I don't. I really don't.
I'm the same way. And then here you go, Jared, just for you, Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
So my hope is that the next season will end the same way, and it will be Captain America and the White Wolf. That's my hope.
Okay.
Is that like we get like, because I just feel like their names, like Bucky's the White Wolf. So I'm like, give me the White Wolf, give me his name. But
he's gonna get a black girlfriend. He's gonna get a black girlfriend. He's gonna be invited to the cookout, and then he's gonna become the White Wolf.
And I hope his black girlfriend honestly is AO, not Sam's sister.
Oh my god, I'd watch the fuck out of that. That was
so finale, scale of 1 to 10, not the whole season, just the finale. John, 1 to 10, 1 being and 10 being yay. What would you rate the finale?
I'd give it a 9.
Give
it a 9. Yeah, I mean, there's room for improvement, obviously.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that I don't want to say that it's an 8, because there was such profound like moments in this where it was like, again, you know, it was speaking to our society. You know, it wasn't just speaking to like the MCU, it was speaking to like the real world.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it deserves an 8 or an 8.5. You know, but at the same time, it doesn't get a perfect 10 for me. There's a lot of things that I have issues with, but I stand strong with it.
That's fine. Jacqui, what is your finale score? 1 to 10.
I agree. 9. I think we all had certain things that were just like, it could have been better. So definitely not a perfect 10, but so good.
Okay.
So good.
Michael Anthony Crea.
9. I would give the penultimate episode the 10. This one, it was a little. In the beginning, I was waiting for some more, and then the payoff at the end, you know, the last 20 minutes, you know, definitely pushed it into that territory. But so well done, especially the timely stuff, you know, the dialogue we needed to hear, you know, the arc that we needed to see that was finally, you know, coming to fruition, you know, with the reveal of him in the suit in the beginning of the episode, combined with the monologue at the end of the episode and everything that happened with Isaiah. Like that got me right here, and that's exactly what I needed. So that's why I guess the 9.
Jared.
Okay, so are we going to score the whole season or just this episode?
That's the next slide.
Just the episode.
Okay, so all right, I needed that before I gave my score. I agree that it's a 9. I will give it a 9.
So you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Nobody's surprised, guys. Nobody's surprised.
I give the finale a 7.5. I thought it was a very good finale. There was just, and there was a lot of great moments that I really loved. But I overall it wasn't the best episode of the season. I would say it's maybe in the top 4 of the 6.
I gotta when I talk about my final thoughts on the whole season, I'm gonna preface why I think it deserves more praise, but we'll get to that.
That's fair. So let's talk about the finale score. I'll go first this time. Or the season score. I think overall I'll give it 8.5. I did like it better than WandaVision.
That's so crazy.
Why?
It's just crazy to me.
Why?
I just feel because we could talk. I'll wait till my turn.
That's not me saying that I didn't like WandaVision, because I did like WandaVision. I just like. I guess I have
my eyebrows right now. I'm like,
I guess I have more of a personal connection to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Fair.
Like I just like there's like to me like a black
and also like
Kyrus,
as a black man, this show is literally speaking to you. Like
yeah.
People of color don't get the representation that they deserve.
Yeah.
And that they should get constantly in media and entertainment. And this is, and again, people were so angry at the jump. Oh, how dare you give Sam the mantle? Black Captain America, there could be a Black Captain America. And then like even over the course of the show, again, the idea is there can't be a Black Captain America. But yet it shows that struggle, and it puts, like, even from the first episode when the cops pull up,
it had me at that point.
It's speaking to like the people of color in this world. Yeah. It's speaking to them in ways that like they don't get spoken to, and it should have a stronger connection.
The point that it had me actually was even before that. It was when Falcon was with his sister. This is before they went to the bank, and Falcon said something along the lines of like something about,
you know, I don't mess around with these white people.
You don't mess, and I was like, this is my show. I get it. I'm in. I'm in. You know, so that's like, this is nothing against WandaVision, because you all know that I like WandaVision. I just like if I had to rank these two personally, I would put Falcon and Winter Soldier over WandaVision. John, since you were already talking, what is your season score?
Okay, my season score is I'm gonna still give it like an 8. The reason I think it deserves like a 9, but the reason why it's so unfortunate, and the reason why I think that all the last episode was so good, is I am Kevin Feige. You are a genius. I love you so much, and I agree. It should have been Black Widow, then this show, and then WandaVision. I liked WandaVision better, but again, I feel like that show speaks a little bit more to me, just as a person. You know, the idea of going through trauma, depression, all these different issues. Exactly, honestly, because that's the thing. You know, what this show kind of says to, you know, like people of color in our country, in a weird way, that's kind of what WandaVision does. Because I'm sorry, for my whole life being a gay man, I've been told to get over it, man up, get over it, let it go. And I could never access my emotions. And now as an adult man, I am angry all the time, and I'm frustrated, and I'm annoyed by everything. And I wish I could just change the world into the way that I want it to be. So WandaVision spoke to me on such a personal level. And then just watching her like whole arc and just trying to pretend it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That's what we do to ourselves every day. Like that's what, as gay men, we literally have to look in the mirror and pretend and smile and say it's fine, even though in our mind it's not. So what this show was to you and speaking to you, that's what WandaVision was to me. But again, WandaVision also had, I think, a better foil than the Flag Smashers. You know, I feel like every single week I wanted to know what happened. Whereas this one, I was like, okay, what's going to happen next? You know, like I wasn't as obsessed with it. But again, at the same time, I think that that's why this series almost kind of failed a little bit. Not because it was bad. It's just because after watching WandaVision, this wasn't I feel like if it was this then WandaVision, it would have been natural progression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let's acknowledge once again, like that was the original order.
Yeah. And I would have loved, I think I would have loved this show. It would have been like a 10 out of 10, like nonstop, every single episode. I would have been so here for it had this come out before WandaVision.
Sure. It's funny you say that because I actually think, like from a storytelling perspective, like I do wish it were reversed. But what's funny is that I think I have more of an appreciation for the Marvel TV shows in the order that I now watched it than I did before. Jared, what's your season score?
So I agree with almost everything John said about WandaVision, but with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think I don't want to compare them, but if we're looking at it as I'm going to give the season an 8. As far as now, I'm going to compare them. As far as like subject matter, relevance, and importance to the society that we live in, I rank Falcon and Winter Soldier above WandaVision. Yeah. When it comes to what I believe is furthering an MCU storyline and opening more foils for MCU characters, WandaVision wins for me. So it almost feels like this. If the MCU is a highway, I believe that WandaVision is on the highway, and I believe that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is like a detour that we have to go through, but it's not on the highway. So I agree that if WandaVision were after, I also think that I like that Falcon and Winter Soldier was shorter, because I think that if they had stretched it out, we wouldn't have liked it as much. And I think that for me, I am going to, like, if I'm not looking at it with a fine-tooth comb, I'm going to give everything that comes out of Marvel a 10 out of 10, because it just speaks to me in a way. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think that this in particular, I could never imagine I needed this because I need us to have these kinds of conversations in further movies. Like, I need us to be focusing on people's race and people's sexual orientation. And exactly what Jacqui said earlier, this is what
women
comic books
and female
are about.
Empowerment.
Yeah, comic books are for the weirdos. Comic books are for the outcasts. That's why they were designed. These characters represent these subsets of society. And for me, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't want to overstep what I'm trying to say, but as far as a commentary on race, in my opinion, as a white man, it's one of the best like marriages of social justice with a fantasy story that I've almost ever seen in my life.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I do see what you're saying. I think I disagree slightly with the highway aspect of it, but I do hear what you're saying there, like 100%.
And I just think like
mainly because we know that we're getting another Captain America movie. We're not getting
I can't wait. Oh my god.
You know?
The thing about Wanda is that like Wanda, and we don't know because like we didn't know we were getting that Captain America 4 till recently. So the thing about Wanda for me is I just find her more of like a fantastical character. You know what I mean? It's more interesting as far as powers and stuff. So that's what I mean as far as like MCU is like, it's more like typical magic and shit. But I agree. I could never imagine the story without Falcon and Winter Soldier ever.
Right. Jacqui, what is your season score?
Season score, I'll give a 8. I'll give it 8 because I really liked it. But I mean, as far as the WandaVision versus this, you can't compare the two. Let me compare Doctor Strange to the Captain America, the first Avenger. You can't compare the two. Like,
perfect. That's a perfect comparison.
So
It's a
silly.
perfect comparison.
Yeah, no. I mean, in terms of they both suit a certain need. I think it's I read this comic. Okay, I read Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What you see is what you get. The translation was very easy to do. House of M, it seemed almost impossible. I think what they achieved with complexity in terms of storyline, complexity in terms of portrayal. Like even if you read House of M, there's some pages that look like they came from 1940s comics. And I think know how they would have showed that, and they did. They did.
I think we'll still get House of M. To be honest, I think we'll still get like a real House of M because this was more like a precursor to what happens like in House of M. So I would love to see Sam as Captain America in House of M because Captain America is big in that. So I think it would be cool.
But like I don't know, like what this is you can't really look at Marvel as a highway because there's so many different narratives there. Like it's really
say what's I mean,
it's more like a salad.
That's fair.
I like that.
Where you can pick
I like that.
That's fair,
By the way,
we got some tomatoes, we got some lettuce.
I love that we're talking about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier because there are a lot of people that love the MC movies that decided to not watch this. So I can't wait to see their face when Anthony Mackie like shows up as Captain America and Wanda shows up as Scarlet Witch, and they're like, "Wait, what happened?" And they have no idea. Mike, what is your season score?
I was gonna give it a lower one, like a 6. But you know what? That's what I love about this and coming together with y'all is that I'm seeing I'm getting a different perspective, and I'm getting data and information and a perspective that I wouldn't have gotten if I was just analyzing it myself. So I'm bumping it up to a 7 because of what y'all have said. And it's very important that, we got this when we did. And it definitely does tie into real life and that's super important and necessary. I'm just going to go to a completely different place. I always go to, do I care about the characters? Do I believe the characters? I always look at direction. I always look at cinematography. I always look at writing, and I always look at acting because that's what I used to do. And, so I'm not going to compare, WandaVision to this because they're so different, to Jacqui's point. But the acting was incredible. The direction was a little choppy. You could tell that they had to rush through things, especially with like episode 3. It was all over the place. It was literally all over the place. So the writing and the direction were left a little bit to be desired for me, but the acting was incredible and the writing was beautiful. So in that respect, and then combined with what y'all have been saying to me and helping me to understand, and that's why I love this so much. That's what brought it up to a 7 for me. So that's my score.
And I don't know if I have a slide in here, unless my computer froze. I think it froze. Wait, there we go. Go back. We are getting a Captain America 4.
Yeah.
Malcolm Spellman is picking up Captain America's shield once again. They did an announced that the head writer and creator of the Disney Plus Falcon and Winter Soldier is developing a 4th installment of the Captain America film franchise for Marvel Studios. Spellman will co-write the script with Dallin Musson, a staff writer from Falcon and Winter Soldier. No casting for the project hasn't been announced yet, but we are going to get one. With that said, I'm happy with how it turned out. I think Marvel's a genius.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing, and I hope that DC is taking notes because. They're doing it right.
DC wishes.
Yeah, it'll never happen.
Never.
But with that said, friends, family, Romans, countrymen, thank you so much for hanging out with our nerd squad today. We all have to go over to John's house and help him clean up.
That's okay, girl. My grandparents got me a very nice vacuum for Christmas, so I'll be done in 5 minutes.
So we have to go help out clean that up. To my friends, my 3 J's, John, Jacqui, Jared, and then of course the wonderful Michael Anthony Crea. Thank you so much for joining me. Look, we've been doing this because we did 6 weeks of this, and then we did 10 weeks of was it how long was WandaVision?
10.
Yeah,
We only
9
did the
episodes, so
finale
10.
of WandaVision, though, I thought.
Oh, that's right. We only did
Yeah,
but
I
still
wish
7
we did
weeks.
10 weeks of WandaVision. My God.
Well, technically we did 8 weeks because there was 1 week in between. So we've done 8 straight weeks of this.
Crazy.
And I did invite Bruce to come on today, and he had to back out like at 9:30. He was
Oh, Bruce, we love
he's
you,
gonna be my
girl.
surprise. That way I was like, oh, we can get everybody that's all that. But with that said, yeah, so we're gonna take a little break. We might sprinkle in one, every now and then. But friends, if you enjoyed this, you can be sure to follow me on The Vibe with Kai on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Follow all of these wonderful people on their social media channels. They're always doing something crazy and all that. Thank you so much for watching. My friends, as always, God bless and good vibes.
Bye.